Hi, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm sure we've all had one of those days where we set out for a run, but not even halfway throughout, our legs are just giving up. They're feeling tired, they're cramping up. It's just one of those days. Well, today I want to share with you something that helped me prevent these situations from happening and to always make sure that I get the most out of my runs. So keep watching this video, and this is my 10-minute warm-up routine that we all can do to improve the quality of our runs and also improve our running performance. So because I like to go out for a run in the early hours in the morning, there are three key main points I need to make sure I get out from my warm-ups. First of all is to make sure that those key muscles that we use for running are well stretched and well oxygenated, but also to bring up their temperature to an optimal level for best performance and flexibility. Second of all is to bring up our heart rate to about 70% of our max heart rate. So for example, when I go running, my max heart rate is around 170 beats per minute. So I like to bring it up to about 110, 120 beats per minute just to make sure that we have a good blood flow and good oxygen flow throughout our body. And by bringing up our heart rate, that will reduce the stress on our heart, especially on those first kilometers of our run. And we all know how hard those first kilometers are. And lastly is to cue and tune in our body for the correct running form to improve our performance and also our running efficiency. Okay, so let's get into warm-up stretches. So let's start by loosening up those shoulder muscles with shoulder circles. So let's do 10 shoulder circles forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now let's do 10 backwards. 1, 2. I do apologize if I don't get these numbers exactly correct. You can do more or less. The important thing is you get a nice stretch and they feel nice and loosened up. 9, 10. Okay? Okay, so now let's do front arm side stretches. So with this one, you want to bring your right arm over to your left side, and we bring it close to our chest. We'll stay about 10 seconds on each side. So with this one, you want to make sure you take some nice deep breaths to make sure you get good oxygen and blood flow through that shoulder and upper back. Now let's do 10 seconds on the other side. This is very good to stretch that upper back muscles as well as your shoulders, which play a huge role during your run as well. 9, 10. Okay. Okay, so now with our legs apart, we want to bend forwards for hamstring stretch. So with this one, you want to make sure you keep your body straight, and we bend slowly forwards with our hands on the ground. You don't have to be touching the floor if you are unable to. That's not a problem. We'll stay about 5 seconds in the middle. 5. Now we move gently to the left. This will really stretch those lower hamstrings down to your calves as well. 5. And now we move gently to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back to the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now with your hands on your hips, come back to standing. All right? Okay, so now let's get into dynamic stretching. So the key to dynamic stretching is you want to be continuously moving throughout your exercises to really activate those joints and also improve your flexibility for a more comfortable run. So let's begin with dynamic quadricep stretches. So with this one, you want to make sure your body is nice and straight and aligned, and you want to bring up one leg while maintaining your balance. And you want to stay about 2 to 3 seconds on each side. You really want to try to make sure that that knee is pointing downwards. You don't want it to be swinging back or forwards. You want to keep it pointing downwards and really focus on the stretch of your quadriceps. Let's do a couple more. Okay. Okay, so now let's do knee hugs. So with knee hugs, again, you want to keep your body nice and straight, and you want to bring one of your knees up to your chest as close as possible while maintaining the balance. You want to stay again about 2 to 3 seconds on each side. This will really open up those hip flexors. Also stretch your glutes and your hamstrings as well. You can also include ankle rolls here to activate the joints of your ankles. Let's do a couple more. Okay. Okay, so now let's do heel swipes. So with heel swipes, you want to sink into your lower back, like as if you were to sit down, like this, with one leg bent and the other leg straight, with the toe pointing upwards. And you want to make a movement with your arms aiming at your heels, then up to the sky. And you want to make this movement slowly to really focus on the lower hamstring and your calves as well. So you make one movement, then you swap onto the other leg. The funny thing is, I used to make fun of my good marathon buddy from Makassar about this awkward stretch. But now, I never start my runs without him. So hats off to you, Pa. Let's do a couple more. Okay. Okay, so next we'll do runner touches. So runner touches is my favorite stretch. So with this one, you want to be standing on one leg. You want to come into a running pose, and you want to make sure that your posture is nice and straight and aligned. And then you want to slowly come into a Superman pose while maintaining the balance. And you want to do this movement nice and slow so that you really focus on the stretch of your hamstrings down to your calves. Let's do a couple more. Okay, now we swap onto the other leg. If you are losing your balance, you can be holding on to something, that's also fine. You just want to really focus on the stretch of your hamstrings down to your calves. Let's do a couple more. Okay. Okay, so now let's do leg swings. So with leg swings, you want to be holding on to something so you can minimize movement of your upper body and really focus on the movement of your legs. So we'll do leg swings forwards and backwards and then sideways. So let's begin with 10 on the right. So with this one, you want to maximize your swing as high up as possible to really activate those glutes and hip muscles. 9, 10. Now the other leg. Nine and 10. Okay, now we'll do leg swing sideways. Okay. This is also very good to prepare for your range of motion and flexibility for your runs. Okay, now the other leg. Nine and 10. Okay. So if you are doing your warm-up stretches at home or indoors, there are a few more dynamic stretches that I like to do that require a yoga mat or some kind of soft surface that will allow you to bring yourself down to the ground. So I've got my yoga mat here, so let's roll it out. So let me put down my glasses for a moment. Okay, so with this one, we want to get onto our backs. And we'll do eagle kicks. So with eagle kicks, you want to extend your arms out to minimize movement of your upper body. And you want to kick with your legs onto the opposite side. So for example, the right leg, you kick over to your left side and you want to kick as high as possible. And you swap onto the other leg. And you want to try to minimize the upper body movement so you focus on the rotation of your hips as well as your lower back. This is very helpful for those who have recurring back pain or discomfort, and also stretch those hips and pelvic muscles as well. Just do a couple more. Okay. Okay, so from eagle kicks, now we want to turn over onto our stomach and we'll do scorpion kicks. So similar to eagle kicks, you want to minimize movement of your upper body. So with this one, you want to kick again to the opposite side with your leg. Just like eagle kicks. You want to reach as high up as you can while minimizing movement of your upper body. This will really open up those hip flexors and also stretch your hip muscles and your pelvic muscles as well. Focus on the rotation of your hips. Okay. Okay, so from scorpion kicks, now let's get onto our knees. And you want to make sure your body is nice and straight and aligned by activating your core. And you want to make sure your hands are right beneath under your shoulders and you have a 90-degree angle on your knees. And then you want to kick out up high with each leg. We'll do about 10 on each leg. This will really activate your glutes and as well as your upper hamstrings. And also those hip flexors. Okay, now we'll swap onto the other leg. Do a couple more. Okay. Okay, so that's it for dynamic stretching, and now let's get into running drills. So the point of running drills is to practice the correct running form before you go out for a run, but also to bring up your heart rate and body temperature as well. So let's begin with high knee, and you want to do this outside, maybe with your starting line in sight, and keep it simple to a 10 to 30 meter distance. So with the movement of high knee, you want to make a movement with your knee high up above your pelvic line while maintaining a correct posture and keeping your body nice and straight. So let's begin. Okay, so now let's do A skips. So with A skips, similar to high knee, you want to bring up your knee high up above your pelvic line, but this time you want to do a skipping motion. And you want to make sure you get a good stomp on every step with your forefoot to get that clawing motion off the ground. So let's begin. Okay, so now let's do butt kicks. So with butt kicks, similar to A skips and high knee, you will bring up your knee high up above your pelvic line, and you want to kick with your feet into your glutes from below, rather than kicking backwards into your glutes from behind. So you want to kick from below. So let's do butt kicks. Okay, so next we'll do side steps. So with side steps, you want to make a lateral skipping movement, and you want to make sure we keep a straight line throughout the movement. And you want to take this one slow first to make sure you get the movement right, and then pick up the pace. So let's begin with side steps. Okay, so last in my running drills, I like to do Carioca. So for those of you who are not familiar with the movement, it's a lateral movement where we bring one foot in front of the other and then switch behind. Okay, so we can use our arms to maintain stability throughout this movement. And let's do this again for 10 to 30 meters. So let's begin. Okay, so that's it for my warm-up routines. I hope right now your heart rate should be around 110 to 120 beats per minute, maybe even sweating a little bit like myself. But I hope this will prevent any running-related injuries and to make sure that we're always ready to go out for a run, and also improve the performance and running efficiency. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. So do hit the like button and comment below. Let me know what you guys like to do for your warm-ups. Also let me know what other running tips you like to see on this channel. Make sure you subscribe as well if you haven't already. And let's all stay strong, let's stay healthy, and keep moving, guys. So let's start running.